Good morning, Patriots. Thank you for the trolls with the thumbs downs. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on, but I really want to quell some of the chaos. And I believe there is a lot of chaos going on right now. And if you ever, Patriots, thank you for the trolls. Mute that. If you ever feel like you turn on the news, like when you get up in the morning and you turn on the news, you open YouTube or you talk to your own family, you ever feel like you're just walking into a bar fight? That's the way it looks like. That's the way it feels. And you're not crazy. The left-wing media mob is screaming that the world is ending. And at the same time, the angry right-wing podcasters are selling outrage. I mean, they're like trying to give it away. It's like a subscription service. And everybody's trying to drag you into their emotional meltdown. I'm not playing that game, and you don't have to either. Today, I'm going to show you how to stay calm, stay positive, stay focused. I got a little tissue. And while the entire media ecosystem is losing its frickin' mind over the 2026 midterms because they're terrified of what's coming. That's what this is. They are planting seeds of doubt because of what's coming in 2026. They know it. They know that they have to keep you scared. And they need you angry and exhausted. And they need you to just throw up your hands and say, you know, there's not been all these arrests. I'm not even going to go vote. Wouldn't that work? Wouldn't that work? That's exactly what works the best. Complacency, doubt, right? Complacency and doubt. I've met so many I've met like 2 or 3 Vietnam veterans that were actually in the Hanoi Hilton. And I've talked to these guys. I'm like, what kept you positive, man? What kept you alive? What kept you just keeping on? And they're like, we just had hope. We just had hope. And one of the guys even, hey, I don't really ask a lot of questions in my full-time job about some of the trauma that these guys have experienced. But one guy really gave me, they had this little, they would tap on the rock or tap on the wall. And they actually developed a way to play chess and a little Morse code to tap out messages. And I'm just like, man, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I have the will, the testicular fortitude. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think anybody would know unless you were in that spot. If you're a veteran in the channel, thank you for your service. If you're a first responder, thank you for your service. If you're just a housewife that has kept your family's chaos together, thank you for your service. Because there's too many of you that never get recognized. My wife is an absolute legend. She puts up with me. She puts up with me doing this. And I can't say thank you enough. A little intro, if you're new here, I spent 20 years not under the water, but on submarines, in and around submarines. No windows, no sunlight, no Twitter. Just high stakes decision where panic, it gets people hurt. But up here on the surface where we're at right now, the news media is doing the exact opposite. When is the last time you saw a news story where they're like, okay, we need you to calm down. We're going to show you something. We want you to zoom out. They don't do that. They sell panic. Did you know this is the first time in 25 years that we haven't had a major hurricane hit land in the United States? Did you know that? Did any of you even realize we made it through hurricane season with no major hurricane hitting land? No, you didn't. Because the left, that's the same people that control the news media, they didn't tell you, hey, congratulations. Global warming didn't work this year, right? The left sells fear of the right. The right sells fear of the left. And the corporate class, they sell ads on all of those various platforms, while Americans are just losing their mind, losing their hope. So today's video, I'm going to walk you through how to handle all this negativity, the anger, whether it's becoming or coming from MSNBC, some rage bait podcaster, maybe your uncle at the kitchen table, right? I mean, that's where you get it. You don't need to wake up and walk into a bar fight when you turn on your TV or pick up your phone. So we're going to start with the simple truth nobody on TV will say. They need you scared. Scared people click more. You're like, oh, I need more. I gotta find out why I should be more scared. Scared people watch longer. They share more stuff. I get all of these like emails saying, watch this. As soon as I get that and it doesn't have any level of context, delete. So if any of you email me bullshit and it doesn't say what it is, delete, because you're not trapping me into the be scared thing. That's why every headline is democracy dies, the country's finished, we're under attack, nonstop all day. Whether it's the left-wing mob or the outrage merchants over here on the right, all playing the same game. Keep you emotional, keep you tribal, keep you blind. Stevie Wonder would have been easy to control, or is easy to control. He needs a guide dog. If his guide dog's angry, he's going to be angry. But let's look at what's actually happening. We've got a lot of stuff to cover. There's a lot of stuff happening in Minnesota. As you've seen that, it's a hotbed. There's a lot of people that are calling for Donald Trump to use the Insurrection Act. I hope he doesn't have to, but that would mean that these governors and mayors and sheriffs and chiefs of police have done the right thing. And we're seeing that they're not doing the right thing, right? And the first time in a long time, this administration is putting Americans first. And the media they don't want to talk about that. They're overwhelmed by, and I would say the Trump administration is overwhelmed by a lot of these deep state holdovers that were put in place under Biden, Obama, and even George Bush. I mean, John Bolton, think about it. People who built their entire careers on keeping the same broken system in place. Nobody wants it fixed, right? And that's what is slowing things down, right? And everything positive gets buried under 10 screaming segments about why you should be outraged. That's where we're at. So we got a lot of stuff to cover. Smash a like and subscribe, thumbs up button. Foo Fighters, one of my really good favorite bands. I don't care about their politics. I don't go pay to watch their music because of their political shit. I think Dave Grohl, great drummer from Nirvana, started his own band. They just lost a drummer because of some drugs and stuff like that too. But I'm a big Nirvana fan. So for anybody that wants to be like, oh, you like Nirvana. Yeah, I do. I do. A lot of musicians are liberal artists, but I still like their music. I hope some of you listen to Don Williams, Lord, I Hope This Day Is Good. Yesterday, I told you to go listen to that. I listen to it every Friday driving to work, so I hope that some of you did that, okay? But yeah, you can pick your own music, whatever you want to listen to. Thank you for the Super Chats rolling in. I really appreciate that. I set a goal of 10 Super Chats. If we get that today, we will drop some free memberships. Somebody said the Boo Fighters. There we go. We got one. We got somebody angry at the type of music. Yeah. Boo Fighter. I had a beer in I think it was called Queen Anne. Yeah, Queen Anne. It's a part of Seattle. I was walking by a bar there and Nirvana was playing in the bar. I went in and actually bought Dave Grohl a beer. Smells like Somalian spirit. That would be a good take on that. Somebody create that with AI. Let's jump right into this. And if y'all want, we might take some calls today. I did have some like anger merchants following me over on X. We're streaming on X right now. I had to change my X stuff up the security. So you can see here my X account. I have a submarine in the background. Subvet retired. I put G.I. Joe. That's Sailor on there as my X account profile. So follow me on X. We're streaming there right now. I get a lot of news. I share a lot of stuff there. And Minnesota will be Minnesota. You live, you leer. You live, you leer. And here's another good one for you. Mark safe from being shot by ICE because I'm not retarded. Yeah, that's true. I'm not going to get shot by ICE. Big one coming in this morning is Tim Burchett, dadgummit. He has now been appointed as the Doge committee chairman. And he's begging Elon Musk to come back. And I hope that Elon Musk does come back and we continue to root out this 65 degrees in Florida. You butthole, real KRO. Damn you.
Hey, everybody. Tim Burchett out here in the barn. I'm completely overwhelmed and humbled that I was selected as chairman of the Doge subcommittee. I was appointed to the original committee by Marjorie Taylor Greene, our former chair lady, and I'm just completely honored that our Speaker Johnson, and Chairman Comer picked me for this. I went into it honestly with a great plan, and we presented that to our leadership. A little different line of thinking. We're going to produce legislation. This is not just going to be a gripe session. We're going to produce legislation, and some of it will be bipartisan because it's just doing what's right. And then I'm going to not just propose the legislation and give a speech and we'll all stand there and pat ourselves on the back. I like to call it a mutual butt-kissing society. We're not going to have that. We're going to actually go move the legislation to the committees. And those people that stand in our way, I will publicly embarrass them. I will publicly embarrass them. We're $38 trillion in debt. And what's going on in Minnesota, folks, is the tip of the dadgum iceberg. I mean, we're going to draw on, I hope Elon Musk will get re-engaged with us. And I look forward to working with him as I did in the past.
So Tim Burchett is actively calling for Elon Musk to get back involved, to come back. And he says that, I mean, he made the statement right there that what's happening in Minnesota is tip of the iceberg. I believe that they are using this. They are using the violence there to hide some of the fraud. On the same day that they had a congressional hearing, thank you for posting your gas prices. I'm seeing some stuff here. $1.89. Damn. News media is not going to cover that because that's positive, right? When gas prices are high, you blame the president. Where gas prices are low, you can't blame the president for that. You can't give him credit for that. Thank you, Al Nidryer. Thank you so much. We'll grab all these supers. I see them flying in, and I like how I can see them pop up on the screen there so that I can see that. But I believe that they covered this up. They covered up the fraud. They got what they wanted. They got their George Floyd, their 2.0. And now we're seeing these people that are actually quitting their jobs to go and sell whatever you call this.
I quit my job for this, and I've been having flare-ups and stuff, so it's like I can barely, and I have panic attack.
You said when you heard the sirens, you immediately ran out. Where were you?
I was about 15 minutes away.
And what were you doing?
I was disassociating on my bed. I mean, I might as well put my time to something useful. If you've seen the video, everything, it was not self-defense by that terrorist. It was not.
How did your boss respond when you quit?
It was like a part-time. I'm getting back after a lot happens recently in my life, so sometimes disability takes.
A lot has happened in her life. A lot has happened in her life. She looks like she's 19. She's had a hard time of it.
My life over, and I'm still kind of in shock. Like,
School's been canceled. Have people been taking off work for this? Have you had to take off work for this?
There you go. So it's very profitable. Just quit your job. Go protest. Here's a sign, right? I'll tell you what else is very profitable. Being a family member. Fundraiser for the woman who rammed ICE agent raises over $1.5 million. $1.5 million. A GoFundMe fundraiser for the family of Renee. I'm not going to call her by her last name. I'm going to say Renee Dumb. A GoFundMe fundraiser has received over $1.5 million for the family of Renee Dumb, who was fatally shot after ramming her car into an ICE agent. The fundraiser closed by the organizers on Friday afternoon after receiving $1.5 million across 38,000 donations. I can barely get people even to donate $2 here to help me with veteran service dogs. And Renee Bad runs over or tries to run over an ICE agent. Family gets 1.5 million simoleons, to quote Fred Sanford. 1.5 million simoleons. I'm trying to help veterans not delete themselves by helping with their service dogs. I think it's more profitable for me to go and try to drive over a law enforcement officer. But I can't do that because I'm not retarded. I'm not that person. Or I don't think I am. Maybe some of the trolls in the chat think I am. But this is even, it gets worse, guys. This gets worse. Here, let's talk about this one. This isn't getting covered in the news. Wisconsin teen pleads guilty to getting rid of his parents to fund another one of these, right? His phone contained information on the Order of Nine Angles, which the FBI has said is a satanic cult that encourages, wait for it, violence, terrorism, sexual abuse, and that other nasty stuff. Wisconsin teenager pleaded guilty. Look at the eyes. It's always the eyes. Right? He was going to develop another scheme to get rid of the Trumpinator. Wow. I think his parents were Trump supporters. You like that? I don't know what this Order of Nine Angles is. Not angels. They need angels. They need angels in their life. That's exactly what they need. It's so hard to pray for people this evil too, isn't it? It's so hard to pray for your enemy. It's very hard to pray for your enemy. I don't know if I can do it. I'm sure I probably could. But man, is it difficult. That's a difficult one, isn't it? Let me get a little slug of coffee here. Level 3 coffee. My friend Jay actually changed the name of his company from Dark Arts to Level 3 because of the connotations that it had to some of the stuff like that. So responses work. This is talking more about the GoFundMe for the Renee Dumb. Her wife was a participant in Minnesota Ice Watch. And I did a little digging. I didn't know about this Minnesota Ice Watch. A few days before the incident, Minnesota Ice Watch held virtual seminars on how to disrupt ice operations. Since Becca Dumb can be heard on video taking responsibility for what happened after the shooting, it's safe to assume she directed Renee Dumb to impede traffic and instigate a confrontation. So Becca Dumb could record and post on social media. Look at this. She just stood off to the side. Hey, honey, go get deleted. Right? That's what we're seeing right now. Remember what I said at the beginning of this? Remember what I said? This is a great way to keep you scared, to keep you outraged. That's what it is, man. That's what this is. Minnesota Ice Watch held training to show agitators how to obstruct agents days before Renee Dumb was deleted. You can go follow this over on Post Millennial. Great article there. Great article there. Man, we've already hit our goal this morning. I'm going to give away some memberships here at the end of the show. And we're going to do this. Let's do this. Service dogs over. We're going to call this. Well, let's do this. Service dogs over demons. I help veterans with service dogs, and I would much rather do that. The Titanic had an ice. Wait, where was that comment? That's a good one. The Titanic had an ice watch too. That's a good comment right there. That's a great comment. My buddy JT's watching the stream. Uh-oh, what does that say? Oh, okay, gotcha. You don't say it. It says, oh, okay. Thank you, JT. Gotcha. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's a great little force multiplier. The Titanic had an ice watch. That's very true. Appreciate that. Let's go here. This is one that the news doesn't want to talk about, do they? The feds removed belongings from the ICE agent. I'm going to replace that with from home of the hero ICE agent in the Minneapolis shooting of Renee Dumb. Number of federal agents were seen at the home of the hero who shot Renee Dumb. His family's already been doxxed. They know where he lives. He's a local yokel. Right? That's absolutely right. I saw a comment. Where's Cash? Where's Cash? I don't know. I don't know. I don't work for the FBI. I hope there's some things going on behind the scenes. I would assume that there are. Maybe you want to stick with that negativity. I don't know. Anybody remember this guy, Michael Fanon? He was one of the police officers there at the most dangerous day in American history. Listen to what this guy says.
And this ain't the first time that we've seen ICE and CBP abuse their power. It's probably the millionth fucking time that we've seen this happen. And it's not even the first time that someone has been seriously injured or lost their lives. And so these politicians and these local, state, and municipal law enforcement agencies need to wake the fuck up. I appreciate the foul language coming out of the mouth of, the mayor of Minneapolis. And I think that his sentiment in the moment was appropriate. That being said, what are you doing? What are you directing your law enforcement agencies to do to protect your citizens? How are you going about doing that? I don't need to hear from the chief of police that we all need to remain calm and protest peacefully. Fuck you and fuck that.
Damn it. Sorry. Blah! Fred's getting fired. My bad. I did not realize I was muted. Damn it. I don't know what happened. Fred probably pulled the wire out. My bad. Let's go back here. Let's go. Let's backtrack just a smidge. Let's backtrack. Trump calls for a 1-year cap on credit card interest rates. Okay. And it could be YouTube playing the games. I don't know. So he's dropping the interest rates on credit cards for a year to 10%. If you owe anything on credit cards, pay it off now. Pay your credit cards off now. Sorry, I was muted. I don't know if I did it or hold on. Let me make sure this is plugged in. Okay. There we go. Knock, knock, knock. We're here. You were muted for 3 minutes. I don't care. There's nothing I can do. Enjoy. I don't know. You probably got happy for not listening to my voice. But this is a great opportunity to pay off your credit cards now. Pay them off as soon as frickin' possible. This will probably happen as well. Judge blocks President Trump's $10 billion welfare funding freeze in 5 states. So Trump's trying to cut off welfare in 5 states, California, Colorado, New York, Minnesota, and Illinois, to inform them of federal cuts. It's because of all the fraud. Somebody says, what if you can't pay off your credit cards? Sell some stuff. Get out of debt while you can. Dave's Not Home, man. That's a good movie. Dave's Not Home, man. Was that Cheech and Chong? I think it is Cheech and Chong. Dave's not home, man. I love that. Dave's not here. That's a good comment. Let me give you the boom shakalaka.
Amen. Hallelujah. and boom shakalaka.
Oh, okay, I got it. I found out the problem. I found the problem on the sound. I found the problem. Got it. But this is big. You know that there's going to be a federal judge that steps in and tries to block everything that Trump is doing. Right? Now, here's one that's really crazy right here. Sorry I was muted. It's just shit happens. Minneapolis police, including the chief, retreated after anti-ICE rioters attacked them and seized control. I'll go back and edit out that part where the sound was gone. I am broke. Too many credit cards. Get rid of them. Get rid of the credit cards. Pay them things off. And here's the crazy thing right here, where actual police were retreating. They were running away from the rioters. The rioters have won in Minnesota. They have physically won. Look at this. I've never seen this. If you're a law enforcement officer, you have got to be very angry about this. Look at this. I'm going to turn this down. These people are insane. Wow. Always pay off your credit card. Never let them accrue interest on your debt. Absolutely. Sitting in the guard. I see a Grateful Dead fan there. That's awesome. I think they're going to be out of options. I think Trump is running out of options. You're seeing police retreat. I mean, these are police running away from the protest. I've never witnessed anything like this. This is crazy. Holy crap. Hold on, let me pause this. I always try to recognize these big ones right off the bat. Candy. I sell eggs and use money to help people. And this month it's for Ben's Dogs for Veterans. Thank you for what you do. Mountain Home. Candy, I'm just over the mountain here. Well, not mountain. I'm just over, get on 412 and come over here to Fayetteville. Thank you very much, Candy.
Amen.
Boom shakalaka.
Hallelujah. And boom shakalaka.
Boom shakalaka. Thank you so much. And all the super chats help. Every one of them. And we will read every single one of these. We'll get to all the super chats, and I promise I found the error on the audio. You're looking at it right here. Error on the audio right here. I take full credit. It was me. I'm dumb. I didn't have enough coffee this morning. It is my excuse. Actually, I left one little switch clicked. So there we go. But what do you think about this right here?
Back.
Yeah. Wow. Can I ask a question for the chat? Because I can't remember for sure, but didn't Tim Walz tell the police to abandon didn't Minnesota police also abandon a police station during the George Floyd riots? Did that happen? I can't remember for sure, but I think it could have. I think that could have happened. The police are actively running away. Oh my gosh. I can't get my mind around this. I really cannot understand how this is a thing. Imagine when you got home, hey honey, or your wife's like, well, a lot of them have husbands, even if they're dudes. They're like, hey honey, how was work? Oh, not bad. We got chased out by a bunch of fat blue-haired freaks with rings in their noses. Oh, that's nice. What are you doing tomorrow? Oh, we're going to go do it again. We're going to go let them run us out of town again tomorrow. right? Good grief, dude. I can't even imagine this. Hey, honey, how was work? We got ran off by some pronouns. The pronouns took over. The pronouns have taken over. That's what they want. The pronouns have taken over. I want to get some, let's do this. I want to grab a couple of calls this morning and let me know what you think about this. I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything like this. Oh, boy. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Let me know what you think about the police. Should they all be fired? Should the police chief be fired? Should the mayor be removed? Police running from protesters. Should they be fired? I don't, that to me is the greatest indication of using the Insurrection Act. When the police can't handle what's going on, invoke it. Let's go here. First call of the day, line 1. Thank you for tuning in.
Ben, what's up, man? It's John, a long-time subscriber, buddy. I'm over here in Birmingham, Alabama, trucking over here across the states. I am fortunately from California, but I believe that the blue-haired virus is hitting Minnesota, bro. It's unbelievable. It's insane.
It's been there for a long time. The last time that Minnesota went red was when they voted for Richard Nixon. They even voted for Walter Mondale. So think about that.
Yeah, right? I know. Anyways, Ben, I love your channel. I love you, dude. Have a good day, and all everybody else out there. Thank you, Patriots. USA.
Let me ask you a question before you go.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. You're a trucker. Are diesel prices going down?
I'm a mother trucker.
Are diesel prices dropping?
Yes, they are.
And
what really pisses me off is this Gavin Newsom, F-tard. He is just completely just running the same gamut with the fuel prices in California, like giving, Trump the bird.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you for calling, brother. I appreciate you. Yep. Have a good one. Stay safe.
Thank you, buddy. Bye.
God bless you. He's from California. He's in Alabama. That's called culture shock. Line 2, go.
Hey, what's up, boss? Well, all lies are being exposed this year, aren't they? Like after watching all the stuff going down.
I didn't think it was going to happen so soon.
Yeah, I definitely didn't see it like that either. It's exposed. I mean, there's just everything from the corruption. I mean, $9 billion. That's a lot of money. $9 billion. If I was going to do fraud, which I wouldn't, but if I did, I'd be satisfied with 10. And these guys did $9 billion. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. And then all of that whole area is just going down, and it's insane to watch. And it's almost crazy. It's just, it's what they say. Truth will always float in time, and it just takes time. And we just got to be patient with the way it works. And it's just difficult, It
is very difficult. It's a weird one to see. Where are you calling from? What part of the country?
Virginia. Unfortunately, it got dominated by blue, but there's a strong force of us that are trying to bring it back to reality.
What kind of gas prices are you seeing there? Is it dropping?
Oh yeah, that's one thing about Virginia. It's not too far north where the crazies live, and not too far south where the crazies live. So it's a nice little balance. Even though it's kind of turned over blue, there's kind of common sense does live here. I don't know if it's because we have a huge military presence here, being so close to DC and having Northern Virginia, but the price of gas is about $3 for
I'm going to have to let you go.
About $2.95 now.
Well, I appreciate you calling. Thank you for calling, sir. Virginia chiming in. Service Dogs Mike, thank you very much. $20 from Trevor. Appreciate you, Trevor. I did see something that I really have to show everyone. There was an X post made, and I might actually have to repost it myself. Here we go. Where is this at? Where is this? You know what? I'm going to post it right here just so that I get it onto my computer. I want you to see this. This should show and explain a lot of what's going on. Okay, let's go here. Let's go right here. Nick Shirley. Why do you think Kamala Harris chose Tim Walz? He was asked this question. Nobody knew who he was before. The first day he's chosen, he raises the most amount of money of any other candidate in history. $35 million was raised on day one from Tim Walz. Within a day of being selected, become the vice president, and now we all know this fraud's happening. How did Tim Walz, who used to be a high school football coach, he's not even from Minnesota, he's from Nebraska. I think he did a little funny business with horses. How is he able to raise the most amount of money? Do you think Somalians were funding it? Any questions there? Any comments? Any concerns there? Boy, oh boy, that is a really, really good question to ask. Real KRO, $5 Space Coast, $2.79. He bought 2 gallons of gas with that super chat. Voodoo, thank you very much. Appreciate you. $5 from Tom and Rhonda, I believe. Ben, these liberal women were like the stork at the zoo in the tiger's cage. I cannot show that. I saw that video. I'm not going to show that. I'm not. Let's go here. I want to show you how the other side thinks. Look how the other side explains this.
On the deadly ICE shooting in Minneapolis. Moments ago, CNN obtained video from an ICE officer's cell phone that captures the confrontation with Renee Good that preceded, at least in part, her shooting. A DHS official confirms the video was recorded on the agent's cell phone camera. We do warn you, there is profanity. This is disturbing content. Here it is.
Why didn't they say that when people were celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk? I don't want to show the actual thing there. I want to get to the part of their response. Their response is really the telling part.
CNN's Josh Campbell is standing by to walk us through this. We also have John Miller with us, who we'll bring in here momentarily.
Listen to what they say.
Josh, take us through this.
Well, this is a critical new angle. This was the actual vantage point of the officer. And we know that not many immigration officers actually wear body-worn cameras. But in this instance, the immigration agent was holding his...
Immigration agents typically don't wear body cameras. You heard that. But their whole plan, their game fell apart because this agent did. Can you imagine? I want to do this. If, let's check the poll. Police running from protesters should invoke insurrection, 66%, 34% say they should be fired. Let me ask a question of the chat. What would be happening? Glad the dog's okay. No kidding. I would adopt that dog. What would have happened if there was no body camera footage? Let's do this. What would Minneapolis look like without the body cam footage? Because I believe it would look like Atlanta after Sherman. It would look like Floyd 2.0. If there was no body cam footage, this ICE agent would be in a prison cell today with Derek Chauvin. Did body camera footage save everything? Somebody said, read your comments. Tracy. Yeah, there's 3,000 people typing, Tracy. I'm trying to read the comments, Tracy. I'm trying to read them, Tracy. Trying. The Communist News Network, CNN, would spew lies. Wait a second. They can't do that. CNN can't spew lies. Why would they ever do that?
Phone up, essentially filming this encounter, which we can now see in this video obtained by our colleague Holmes Librand. So in the video, you see that the officers are making contact with Renee Good there. She's parked somewhat perpendicular in a street. And there's another woman that's there, which is outside the vehicle. And you can tell, as the exchange there with Renee Good, that, she's being somewhat pleasant. The other woman is, kind of mouthy. And, this is obviously a bit tense. She, tells the agent at one point, why don't you go get some lunch, big boy? You also see critically, and I'll get to this in a second, bystanders behind the vehicle. We've seen other angles. This one shows us, again, the vantage point of that officer. Another agent orders Renee Good out of the vehicle. This agent then walks around. That is the moment that she then takes off. And on that audio, what we hear, it appears that you can actually hear friction on the phone. It appears from other angles that the agent was indeed struck by that vehicle.
Boo! I got to give CNN a boom shakalaka. This guy will never be allowed on CNN again.
Amen. Hallelujah.
This will never be on CNN again because this guy just revealed it all. They don't care about the new footage. Yeah, you're right. They don't think of they don't care about the new footage, do they? They do not. But it's really interesting to see how they painted the picture. They painted the picture of everything is going meticulously, right? The wife should be charged. Do you think the wife should be charged? How many of you believe that? Yes or no in the chat. Type 1 for yes, 2 for no. How many of you believe that the wife should be charged? I'm going to lean towards yes. I'm going to lean towards yes. Because I believe the wife incited. I believe the wife said, drive, baby, drive. Randy, thank you very much. Maybe law enforcement can stop the GoFundMe payout because everything happened in the middle of committing a crime. Her wife should be charged an accessory. Accessory, that's the term. I'm not a law expert. I did watch a lot of Matlock. I watched a lot. My grandmother loved watching Matlock, and I used to go and drink iced tea, and we would shell peas and watch Matlock. She loved purple hull peas and butter beans, and my granny always had a good garden. We would shell peas, drink iced tea, and watch Matlock. And she made the best damn pitcher of iced tea ever. Number 1, felony murder doctrine. Whoa. Okay. Let's go here. You know what? I want to grab a couple of calls. I want to get some opinions on this. Branca explained it. I don't know who Branca is. Let's go Bobby, Tennessee. Talk to me. Bobby in Tennessee. What you got, Bobby?
Not only should she be charged, I think the millions of dollars that they're collecting should be seized because that's ill-gotten gains. That's like being a paid martyr.
Oh.
They're getting that money on a ruse.
Wasn't
murdered.
I saw a comment in the chat. It said fruit of the poisonous tree is what I saw in the chat. And you might be right. You very well could be right. Bobby, I'm going to grab some more calls. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Bobby in Tennessee, one of my long-time listeners, long-time subscribers. Calls are open. They're blasting in here. Talk to me. Line 2. What you got, line 2?
Good morning, Ben. It's old Grumpy.
Talk to me, Grumpy. What you got? Make it quick.
Man, it's turning out to be a hell of a year, ain't it? I mean, Maduro gets snatched in his pajamas. Miami and Indiana's in the national championship. And now the white peanut butter cup is following up on St. Floyd.
It is weird, isn't it?
Yes, it is. But you asked a question a while ago if Tim Walz will ever be indicted. No, he won't be indicted. They will do him the same way they did Joe Biden. They will find he is found incompetent to stand trial. I promise you.
Oh, I got you.
The one thing the left is good at is covering their ass.
Yeah. Oh, I got a troll here. Hold on. I'll keep you online while I do the flush. Somebody named Timmy Turner said it was murdered. And then Timmy said, "You're all idiots." Hold on. This is the first flush of the day. Flush of the day. Grumpy, I'm going to let you go. You take care, brother. Stay safe.
Have a good one, brother.
Let's go. Let's do the celebratory first flush of the day. Timmy Turner. Gone. Back in the toilet, Timmy. Back in the toilet. Timmy Turner. And if you recognize any other trolls in the chat, just feel free to post their names. And I try to get rid of all the trolls. I just don't need trolls in my life. Go hate watch somewhere else. Go be a black pill somewhere else. I don't need it. I don't want it. First flush of the day. FA of the FO. Somebody sent me a message. 265 in Southeast Indiana. Okay. Lines are open. 615-475-7864. Shark bait. Turd alert. They got flushed. Tidy bowl is clean. Line 2. Go line 2.
Hey, Ben.
Go. Talk.
Hey, man. Hey, I watched last night when all that was going down in Minnesota downtown, and there was no pre-deployment of those police. There was no plan. They were sent in after the fact. And so it's the mayor, probably at the orders of Walls, that said, just let them run amok. And it wasn't until those guys started trying to get into those hotels, and no doubt there was a flurry of calls from all the different hotels, that they had to do something.
You know, I mean, it seems like, wasn't there a movie that Obama put out on Netflix where they hunted down MAGA supporters? I think that was a real movie.
No, there was a movie. I never watched it, but I know I've seen synopsises of it. But
I mean, it seems like law enforcement is now being hunted. Could you imagine someone wearing a MAGA hat in Minneapolis right now?
Oh, just from one group that showed up outside the ICE facility yesterday, 3 guys showed up waving flags and being against the rest of the crowd. And they held that whole crowd like moths to the flame. Wherever they moved, that whole crowd moved with them because they were so incensed. The First Amendment only works when it's them talking. So anybody else has a different opinion, shut down.
How dare you? Yeah. How dare you? Think of the children. Appreciate you calling, brother. You take care. God bless you. Yeah. The First Amendment only works. He nailed it. He nailed it. Let me grab this. I got to use this. The First Amendment only works whenever it's the left. It only works whenever it's convenient, right? Nobody else is allowed to use the First Amendment unless, it's got to be convenient for the media or the Democrats.
Won't somebody please think of the children?
Think of the children. Think of the damn children. Somebody said here, Ben, please keep this up. You're the next Rush Limbaugh. I'm a fan. Pam, that's a great comment. Become a member on the channel. Do that. Do it now. If you become a member on the channel, that helps me with my service dog fund, helps keep the show alive, and it helps keep this going. And it tells me that and if you become a member on the channel, you get into the Discord, you get into the private chat. It's a members only area. There's no people like Timmy the Turd in there. Let's go here. Let's go right here. Somebody says police lost control. Impose martial law now. Okay, let's do it.
Chief Border Patrol Agent Greg Bovino is here. All right, Mr. Bovino, I have this agent's back. I understand why he discharged his weapon. Should he have been in front of that vehicle?
Jesse, thanks for having me tonight. It's good to see you. Jesse, every situation is different in immigration enforcement and any law enforcement action. So where that agent was at, as far as what was happening on the street, many different things happening, many different individuals protesting, agitating and things like that. So it's not out of the realm for that agent to be where he was at. I was out on the street today, Jesse, with the agents, and many similar situations occurred. Luckily, they didn't result in something like that, but absolutely, agents are in a very precarious situation every single day they're out there on the streets. These agitators are out of control, as you said during your monologue, out of control, and they will do almost anything, it seems, to try to stop our mission.
Is the mission being stopped because you guys are showing so much patience? You're showing so much restraint. We showed video just last night of a woman bum rushing you and hitting you. I mean, how do you do your job under these circumstances?
Jesse, the mission is not going to stop, and it hasn't stopped. We've got thousands of agents in the largest Department of Homeland Security mission ever conducted. Thousands of agents here in Minneapolis and across Minnesota conducting this mission. So it's not stopping, and that professionalism is on display every day. I tell you, I am absolutely amazed at the restraint and the professionalism that ICE, Border Patrol, and all those allied law enforcement agencies provide every single day, especially in the face of hundreds of violent agitators, violent mobs, rioters, you name it, those agents are subject to that every day. It's almost like a running battle for a 10 or 12-hour shift, a running battle all shift long. And hats off to the ICE and Border Patrol agents.
A battle in the streets while you're conducting operations that the country voted for. It's a shame. It shouldn't have to be like that. You anticipate that people are going to start throwing themselves in front of cars. You anticipate there's going to be more.
This is pitiful. This is pitiful. Nobody bothers these people at Starbucks when they're working, right? Police lost control, impose martial law now. I think you're right, man. I think you're absolutely right. I can't disagree with you one bit. And this Greg Bovino, he's got the patience of Job. And these ICE agents are constantly under attack. I don't know if I could. I don't know. I don't know what I would do in that situation. I think the agent did exactly what he should. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Let's go here. Line 2. What you got, line 2?
Hi, my name is Lisa from Missouri, and I was just calling to ask you if you had received a package from me yet.
What did you send, Lisa? Because I haven't been to the mailbox in a couple of days.
Okay, well, I want it to be a surprise, so I'm not going to tell you what I sent to.
Don't tell me.
And the second thing is, I think those police officers in Minnesota are cowards. They could have done something with those protesters. They're cowards. And
they don't want to.
I support the law enforcement officers 100%, but I think they were cowards.
I think majority rules there. I believe it starts with the governor. It trickles down to the mayor. It goes to the chief of police. It goes to these DEI law enforcement that they have. And I think I can't remember right off the top of my head the verse and scripture of blessed are the peacekeepers, but right now we're not seeing that. And somebody in the chat will know. Somebody in the chat, post the chapter and verse for that, please, because blessed are the peacekeepers. I appreciate you calling from Missouri. I will check my mail today. Thank you so much. Okay. God bless you. God bless Missouri. God bless Missouri. The caller's correct. Cowards. That's a strong word to use against law enforcement. I've got some friends that are law enforcement. No, I didn't. I bet headquarters wasn't pleased. The mayor of St. Paul is an illegal. I saw that. That's true. Mob rule. You're absolutely correct. Let's go here. $5 for the pup cups. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Let's go. I've got some other stuff to talk about here, right? Let's go. Well, we got another phone call rolling in. Let's go here. Line 1. Where are you calling from, line 1?
Hey, we're calling from Louisiana.
Louisiana. You sound like you're talking in a bucket. What would you like?
Okay, this better?
That's way better. Keep your head out of the cooler.
All right. 2 points I got to make. All
Make 'em
right?
quick.
The
Yes, sir.
Insurrection Act
Mhm.
covers local dissent. If they put in the martial law, we're all affected.
Really?
Okay? Yeah.
Okay.
I've been doing my studying.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
And point number 2, we have a law on the books from 1954. It's called the CCA Act. It's a Communist Control Act. That clears out all those loonies in Congress. But nobody wants to talk about it.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah, but this is an actual law passed in 1954 that
Mhm.
takes care of all those socialists, communists. We have a law on the books for this.
That was passed under Eisenhower, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
You're darn right it was.
And
Right after the Korean stuff.
Eisenhower is the guy that warned us of the military-industrial complex. Is that true as well?
Uh-huh.
Eisenhower
this has
sounds
all
like
been
a.
put into law already. Why
Mhm.
we're not using it is beyond me.
That's a good point. Thank you for calling. I appreciate you calling.
All right, man.
What part of Louisiana are you at?
I'm across from New Orleans in Lacombe, Louisiana. We're a little village over here.
I've got some family down in Houma, if you know where that is.
Yes, I do.
They are the best
anyway,
coon
thanks for
asses
letting
in the
me
world.
vent, man.
Yes, sir. Hey, you know what? That's what this channel is for, so that you all can express your opinion. There's a lot of channels. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I will. There's a lot of channels that are scared to hear what you think or scared to hear what you say. They will gladly take your money in a super chat, but they won't let you get your opinion out. I appreciate you
You
calling,
want to
sir.
know somebody else to watch? Black
Yes, sir.
Scout Survival. That
I
man has
lo-
some serious insight.
I love Black Scout Survival. I love his channel. Absolutely. Absolutely. Take care, brother. Be good. God bless you. Black Scout Survival's got great content. I think he's a veteran too. I think he's a Marine. I think he was a Marine Corps vet. Maybe I'm wrong. Uh-oh, we just got one. We got one. DB Noise. Open discourse only survives when people aren't afraid to voice dissenting opinions. Free expression means nothing if it only applies to safe, crowd-approved ideas. DB Noise, I got to give that to you.
Amen. Hallelujah. And boom shagala.
There you go. Thank you so much, DB Noise. You know what, DB?
How dare you?
How dare you? And you know, I like dissenting voices on here as long as people can call in that don't agree with me. But don't get into, you're calling me a Nazi, you're calling me a fascist, you're calling me a racist. Don't call me names. Have a discussion. Have a discussion. Reminder of the BLM riots in Minneapolis. This is a little trip down memory lane during the summer of love, and now we're in the winter of love. 1,000 buildings, rampant looting. It's called freedom shopping. It's not looting. That's freedom shopping. 500 million in damages. Oh, the Somalians will pay for it. Countless police and bystanders injured. Oh, that'll be all right. Tim Walz sat back and watched this happen. Well, his wife loved the smell of burning tires in the morning. I love the smell of some burning tires in the morning. I forget what movie that was on. No, that was Napalm. That was Napalm, right? Napalm. Robert Duvall. I think Robert Duvall reminds me so much of my grandfather. But when ICE agents defend themselves, then he calls in the guard. Let's roll this clip and grab some calls. Look at that. Summer of love, baby. Looks like Los Angeles. Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you so much. Look at that. Who sang the song The Sound of Silence? Who sang? There was a song, Sound of Silence. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Give me a call. I'd like to get your opinion on this. Love to get your opinion on this. This was Minnesota. Oh, look at the nice graffiti. Very Christian-like. Line 2. Go right now, line 2.
Hi.
Good morning. Turn the audio down in the background or I will hang up on you.
Oh, yes. It's gone.
Okay, what would you
Hi,
like to
Ben.
say?
I've never called before. Been watching you for quite a while. I just want you and all the fans out there who have a grain of sense start thinking about how long ago that people or whoever it is started putting the ideas into the people's head to go ahead and take money to riot against this country. And that's what they're doing. They're rioting against America.
It's very profitable. Very profitable.
Yes.
I appreciate you calling. Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, thank you, Ben.
I think she's right. It's very profitable. Not only that, but think of who awards the government contracts to rebuild. Tim Walz, Minnesota law, Minnesota governments, right? Simon and Garfunkel sang that song. Thank you so much. I think we might have another one. Hold up. We might have to fire up the toilet again. Oh, yeah. Tim and his wife are idiots. Yeah, they are. They absolutely are. Thank you for a great comment. Great comment. Let's grab another call here. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Express your opinion. Give me your best shot. What you talking about? What you got? What you got, Willis? Heavy breathing does not turn me on if you just called in to heavy breathe. The heavy breathing does not turn me on. I'm sorry. Doesn't do anything for me. Right? U.S. forces just seized their 5th Venezuelan oil tanker 8 hours ago. Donald Trump came out on True Social today. The United States of America, in coordination with the interim authorities of Venezuela, seized an oil tanker which departed Venezuela without approval. The tanker is now on its way back to Venezuela. Oil will be sold through the great energy deal, which we have created for such sales. Trump is trying to help Venezuela. He's not stealing anything. He is giving the money to them and to the companies that were ripped off down there. And there's so many people that can't figure this out. So many people can't figure this out. GOP lawmakers call on Trump to arrest Waltz. The president cannot arrest anyone. It sounds cool. The president does not have that authority. If you read the Constitution, the president has 2 major roles from the Constitution. Number 1 is to protect the Constitution of the United States. Number 2, protect the people of the United States. I mean, that's it. Those are the roles of the president in the Constitution. He doesn't have any other real rules or laid out, right? Now, he can grant pardons. He can sign executive orders. He can recommend legislation. He can negotiate peace deals. But his real rules to follow are those, right? I mean, that's sadly, that's it. Donald Trump doesn't have arrest powers. Here we go. This is the left's Frankenstein. They lost control of the monster they created. Good call. Line 2, go.
Top of the morning to you, Uncle Ben.
Good morning,
How you
sir.
doing? Good,
I'm going to make
sir.
some rice now after you called me Uncle Ben. I'm making rice.
Hey, yes, that's why I have you on my phone as Uncle Ben.
What would you like to say?
Ever ask you a question? Do you ever go to the Bremerton shipyards and Bangor?
I was stationed at Bangor for a number of years. I have been in and out of the shipyard on multiple overhauls. That place was a dumpster fire.
No, that was a little bit of a joke. Did you ever go to the Bremer Shipyard and Bangor? Well, yeah.
Oh,
I did.
okay, gotcha. Yeah,
Okay.
gotcha,
Sorry,
gotcha.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
Different. Yeah, I did the NMCI installation.
You've called and said the exact same thing before. What else would you like to say?
Oh, just today, could you just have all your listeners pray for Scott Adams? He's on his way out, I'm thinking. I watch him every day. It's 7 in the morning, and so
Scott Adams is a legend.
he is a legend, and he's going to be definitely missed.
I'll tell you this. There's two people that basically got me to watching or to doing YouTube. One, or was to doing this. One was Rush Limbaugh, Scott and Scott Adams. Rush Limbaugh is the one that got me to want to do phone calls. Scott Adams, the one that got me to want to just do it, period. You know? So, yeah, I agree.
Amen to that. Hey, about the problems that are going on today, there's so many problems. But my cousins actually had to move out of Kenosha during the Jacob Blake mostly peaceful riots. Things, and Scott Adams coined something called a Rupar editing. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Nope. Make it quick, though. I'm going to grab some more.
Removal of one part of a clip, statement, or Photoshop reverses the meaning 180 degrees.
Oh, that's a good one.
That makes sense because the CNNs, they do it all the time. They'll cut a piece, a clip, or whatever, and they can form their narratives. And so Scott Adams is going to go down in history as, among other things, reframe your brain and all that good stuff. But
thank you for calling, sir. I really appreciate you. Great call regarding Scott Adams. Scott Adams needs prayer. He's turned his life over to Christianity. People even question that. People had the audacity to question that, but they will not question this. This is an actual police chief in Portland. Police chief in Portland.
I want to speak for just a moment specifically to my Latino community. It saddens me that we even have to qualify these remarks, because I understand, or at least have attempted to understand through your voices, your concern, your fear, your anger. This information in no way is meant to disparage or to condone or support or agree with any of the actions that occurred yesterday. But it is important that we stay committed to the rule of law, that we stay committed to the facts, that we stay a trustworthy and legitimate police department for all of Portlanders.
This guy was crying on camera at a press conference for the two people that were shot in Portland. He broke down crying when two illegals were shot who went after ICE agents. They were affiliated with Tren de Aragua. He was actually crying.
It saddens me that
I'm sorry, I'm not going to cry for them. I'm not. Let me show you something else that's disgusting. I know we've probably got some, is there anyone in the chat that voted for Ronald Reagan? Is there anyone in the chat that voted for Ronald Reagan? Yes or no? I'm sure there probably is. I'm sure some of you voted for Reagan. If you voted for Reagan, what I'm about to show you, John Hinckley has his own YouTube page. This is who is being, now that's disgusting right there. And he lives in Massachusetts. And he goes and he's got an album. You can buy a John Hinckley album. Look at this. John frickin' Hinckley has a YouTube channel. And you can learn to play guitar from John Hinckley. This is the reality we're living in, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see his most popular video. John Hinckley sings an original song. We will not play it. Somebody says, who? John Hinckley shot Ronald Reagan. And now he's out here playing Digging Up Bones or whatever the hell he's doing. Right? This is the like hero of the left. First guy I ever voted for was Ross Perot. You wasted that vote, didn't you? Let me see here. I got to grab this. HD Hank. First person I ever voted for was Ross Perot. You helped to get Bill Clinton elected. Nice work. I'm not saying Bush was better, but damn, you helped create the Clinton time machine, the Haitian money laundering scam. Line 2. Go line 2.
Yo, what's happening, Ben? This is Sam calling from Pennsylvania.
Sam, Pennsylvania, what you got?
Hey, until we crack down on these idiots out there protesting, man, they're just going to keep getting bolder and bolder. That's the problem, is they can throw rocks, break windows out of the ICE vehicles. Nobody's getting arrested. I mean, I know Trump don't have the authority, so I'm not mad at him. He's doing everything he can do, but we really got to crack down on these idiots.
Let me ask you this then. Under the network of the law, how do they crack down? How would you crack down on it without breaking the law?
Just disorderly conduct. I mean, if I go out in the street here in my local town and start screaming and acting a fool, I'm going to get arrested.
There's news.
Let me ask you this. I want to show you an image right here. Is there a jail in the United States big enough to hold this many people?
Oh, no, I understand that, but you understand, like, ICE agents were letting people go that were chasing them, and they would cry, and they would just let them go, charge them with something. Even if they're not going to do any time, if they get a fine, there has to be some kind of consequences for what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling, brother. I appreciate
I'll
you.
let you go. Have a good one. Appreciate
Yes,
everything
sir.
you do.
God bless you. I think he said Pittsburgh. Somebody said we were deleting comments. Nobody's deleting comments. No, nobody deletes comments in here. John Hinckley is a D-bag. It was my first vote to cast. Was for Reagan or Ross Perot? If you voted, I voted for Willie Nelson. I love some Willie Nelson. Willie Nelson's sound engineer helped me get this. Willie Nelson's sound engineer helped me get the gold mic. Dave's not home. I need that clip. Somebody send me that clip. Dave's not home. Somebody send me that. Let's go here. I want to see this that's going on in Minneapolis. I don't know if you can arrest your way out of this. Let's do that for a poll. This is not the kind of poll that got Kamala to where she is. Can we arrest our way out of this problem? Yes or no? Can we arrest our way out of this problem? I don't know if we can. I don't know if we can arrest our way out of this. No one is deleting comments. Whoever said that is retarded. Who the F are deleting our peeps comments? Nobody. If any of my mods are deleting comments, I will ban you. I don't think you are, but there you go. Let's go here. Roll it, bean footage.
There's news. Fox News Alert: an unlawful assembly declared in Minneapolis after thousands of anti-ICE protesters hit the streets in response to the fatal shooting of Renee Good.
The situation turning violent, with one group attempting to breach a hotel where they believed ICE agents are staying.
Matt Finn is live on the ground in Minneapolis with the latest. Matt, good morning. What are you seeing there?
Well, Rachel, it's quiet right now, but really just a few hours ago, not far from where I'm standing, things turned violent and got pretty dicey. A large crowd of protesters and rioters surrounded a hotel where they believe immigration agents are staying here in Minneapolis. Our Garrett Tenney was on the scene last night. He said a smaller group of the protesters broke into the depot in downtown Minneapolis, tossing around the furniture inside, while others were spray painting anti-ICE messages on the windows. Now, outside, the protesters were playing instruments, banging drums, and blowing whistles to prevent immigration agents from sleeping or getting rest. Our Fox affiliate reports police declared an unlawful assembly sometime around the 10 o'clock hour. Now, yesterday, body camera video showing some of the final moments leading up to that ICE agent shooting of Renee Good was obtained by Fox. Let's watch that full video.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you. That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning.
There we go. I don't want to get into that part. I want to see this with the mayor.
He walked away with a hop in his step from the incident. There's another person that's dead. He held on his cell phone. I think that speaks for itself. I can see a person that is trying to leave. I can see an ICE agent that was not run over by a car. That didn't happen.
So DHS sources, including a senior official, tell Fox News that about 1,000 additional agents are on their way here to Minneapolis, scheduled to surge this city. There's
1,000 agents headed to Minneapolis. 1,000 agents. I think I'm ready to hear the music by Paint It Black. I'm ready to hear that kind of music. I'm ready to hear some real action happening, right? Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Feel free to give me a call. Let me know. Voice your opinion. Questions, comments, concern, or cuss words. Let me know. Can we arrest our way out of this? 57% of you say no. That's disturbing. Let's grab that call. Line 2. Where are you calling from, line 2?
Ben, this is Chief Ellis, retired calling from Southern Illinois. The first question, who sang Sounds of Silence? Originally it was Simon and Garfunkel.
Simon and Garfunkel.
The first person I ever voted for was Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan.
And I voted for Trump all 3 times. Keep up the good work and love your show.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question real quick. With what's going on right now in Minnesota, it has taken all of the air out of the room. It's sucked all of the oxygen out of the room. And I believe we're losing sight of what's going on in Chicago. Would you agree with that?
Well, yes, in a way, but it's a military operation. It's a PSYOP. The military is in control. President Trump is commander-in-chief. He's running this show, and he can do whatever he wants in the world right now. Nothing's stopping him.
Okay. I appreciate you calling. Thank you, caller. Thank you, Chief. Chief Ellis, retired U.S. Navy, Southern Illinois. Thank you, shipmate. Disturbed also did a Song of Silence and was so much better. Yeah, I'm not a Disturbed fan, but I've seen them open up a couple of concerts that I've been to. Let's keep this going. Let's keep the train on the tracks this morning. I like the comments. There's a lot of people bringing some good info to the table. Line 2, where are you calling from, line 2?
Fort Worth, Texas. How you doing, Ben? Good to talk to you. It's been about a half an hour trying to get through to you.
Good. Good morning, sir. Thank you.
Hey, just want to let you know that I got a video up on my channel. It's called Help Someone Burn Down the Wendy's. and it shows the Minneapolis police station that was burned down in 2020. So if you want to put that up on your thing and show it, it's pretty funny.
Okay, I sure will. Thank you so much. I appreciate you calling. You take
Happy
care.
New
God
Year.
bless you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Let me see here. I think I might have to get rid of a member here that just keeps spamming something. Your Dave's not here in the Discord main chat. Uh-oh, hold up. Message restricted. What is that one? Be the best for you. Let's see what they said. Go back to acting. Looks like a bunch of students. It's a hotel. Is it a hotel trying to save their reputation? Well, that could be right. That could be correct. Very well could be correct. Let's go here. Open these lines back up. I appreciate you calling. Thank you very much. Feel free. 615-475-7864. Appreciate it. Lines are open. You know what? I've never really banned someone that's a member on the channel, but I can. Lines are open. There we go. Line one. What you got, line one?
Hey, brother, thank you again for your service, doing what you're doing. But I think Tim Walz is just trying to burn it all down because he's guilty of sin.
Hold on. I like this conspiracy. What if there is information in some of these buildings that were to get destroyed?
Oh, 100%.
Wow. I didn't think of that. I mean, the same way that it's been rumored that, you know, the Twin Towers were taken down before information was there, or Oklahoma City. I think I've heard that.
Yeah, a lot of things can be true at once.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I mean, he's got a lot of, his neck is in the noose, and he's going to take everything down with him.
Do you think that Tim Walz will resign in shame? Because I saw somebody in the chat say Tim Walz resigns after he appoints Amy Klobuchar, and then he runs for her Senate seat in Minnesota.
Well, they talked about that, but doing that shuffle is just distraction, and probably Amy Klobuchar's got her fingers in it too.
I think we are going to see with Tim Burchett as the head of Doge now, and if he can get Elon Musk back in the fold, we're going to see some people that you and I like complicit in all of this. That's what I think.
Oh, I'm sure there's tons of collateral damage. I mean, the Democrats aren't the only criminals. And
no.
We also know that Maine and California is a huge dumpster fire.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. Thank you for the call, man. Where are you calling from? I forgot to ask.
Well, Huntington, West Virginia. This is Jerry.
Jerry okay. Thank you, Jerry. I appreciate you. God bless you. God bless Virginia.
God bless you too.
Jerry from West by God, Virginia. That's what I always heard my grandfather call it. Omar and Waltz had the one guy deleted. Okay. You could possibly be right on that. Multiple things can be right and wrong at the same time. Waltz put a hit on, somebody called and hung up. Okay. Called and hung up. That's okay. Don't be scared to call in. I'll tell you that. Do not be scared to call in. Queen B. There we go. Super chat. Line 2. Where are you calling from? Line 2. What you got?
Florida, Central Florida. U.S.
Central
Navy here.
Thank you for calling, sir.
Ben, I was looking at a previous podcast, and it's about the money.
Okay.
When we went overseas, any place we went, we had to change our money into their money.
Right.
Because the black market would get the money and charge 3% more, or they wanted gold to get it back.
Correct.
To trade for the United States.
They did that in Thailand. I remember that. Mm-hmm.
That's a crime right there. Sending American money over to another country.
Well, did you see Scott?
No matter how much it is.
Did you see recently, as yesterday, Scott Bessent said, if you are on welfare food stamps, you will not be allowed to send money out of the country.
It doesn't matter. whether you are or not. You shouldn't be allowed to send American money out of the country.
Well, what if you've got a
Should be turned
family
into
member?
whatever currency.
What if you've got
where they're gone?
What if you've got a family member in college in England or something?
It doesn't matter. You can't send American money. You can't give American money out in another country. It's against the law.
But you could transfer money
weren't allowed to do it.
Hold on. You could transfer money to them if they had an American bank account. It doesn't matter where they're at in the world.
Yes, but it wouldn't go over there as American cash. I'm saying you can't send American cash.
Okay,
out of the
gotcha.
United States.
Gotcha. Thank you for calling. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Great call, Central Florida. Love it. Let's go here. Let's keep this train moving. The train is moving. Lines are open. Love it. Let's go. I love the idea of sending more of them there. Let's go here. I think I like this guy a lot. Line 2. What you got, line 2?
Hi, it's Heidi from Canada, Quebec.
Heidi, turn the audio down in the background. I've got to add your number here so I can just make sure I know who's calling. What you got, Heidi?
I put it down. Is it okay?
Yeah, what you got, Heidi?
Okay, well, first of all, it was me that called and hung up. I was too nervous.
What would you like to say, Heidi?
Okay, I would like to say 3 things. Number 1, I would like to congratulate you all in America and Trump on catching Maduro. Yay! And number 2, I would like to God bless ICE capades, Navy SEALs, U.S. Christians, truthers, law-abiding citizens of God's country of milk and honey. I love it. And number 3, this is funny, but it's true. I would really love, I would really love to see the Maduro-style kidnapping and jailing Mark Carney. That would be something amazing. Put him in jail in New York City with Puff Daddy.
I appreciate you calling, Heidi. You stay warm up in Quebec. God bless Heidi. Maybe the only Canadian I like. Thank you for calling, Heidi. Let's grab this one.
Same with people on
I'm not a Democrat.
It's simply not.
Do you really think that her intention in that moment was to run that officer over?
I think her intention was to move the car forward with a law enforcement officer standing in front of it.
Do you think that she meant to try to kill him?
I don't know, Abby, and I wouldn't have any way of knowing.
Don't you think that is extremely important?
All I know is that.
Scott, don't you think that is extremely important as we try to understand what was going on here? I think if you're gonna
actually no, I don't.
But if you're gonna say she was trying to kill him, you're basically saying she intended to kill him, and I asked you just point blank, and you wouldn't say that. So was she trying to kill him or not?
Well, I think if you're behind the wheel of a 4,500-pound automobile and you gun it towards another human.
Well, she didn't gun it. She turned the wheels to the right.
Can we just say this?
I know
You're
trying to.
How many people have done this?
She hit the guy in the leg.
This is not normal.
Did she try to run him over intentionally? Did she try to intentionally run him over? Yes or no in the chat. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Did they see his body cam? Hell no. I think we need to discuss this. Did she try to run him over? Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Are there any members of law enforcement that have ever had this happen to them? Gooch, you were a military veteran. You probably stood some gate guard. Line 1, go right ahead. Did she try to run him over?
Yes, she did.
Talk to me about that. What makes you believe that? Because I believe that too.
Well, she was trained to do that. She and her wife was trained to be activists, and she wanted to get into a situation where she would be put in harm, so then the other activists could use that. Now, was she meant to get herself killed? No, but She wanted to create a conflict, and if that means to run over someone, an ICE agent, to do that, that's what she was doing. They've been waiting for something. All the activists out there have been waiting for something like this to occur, and so they could get mobilized and do exactly what they're doing now. It's pretty sad, the state of all this, and it's just been a train wreck in the making, and now we're seeing it.
I am going to agree with you because I believe the same people that are being trained by this ICE watch are the same people that celebrated the death of Charlie Kirk. They celebrated the shooting of Donald Trump, and I believe it's going to continue. I completely believe that. Thank you for calling, sir. Thank you for calling. She parked her car in front of the teams. ICE watch. Yeah, they train these. I agree with this. I agree. Now, there are 5% of people in the chat that don't believe that. Line 2, go right ahead. Do you believe that she intended to run over this person?
Hey, Ben, it's Randy from California.
Randy, what are your thoughts? Do you think she intended to run over this person?
Well, I'm going to give you my point of view of how my department looks at this in California.
Oh, you're okay. Yeah.
In the 90s, in mid-90s, we had a rash of this exact type of situation happen, where officers were in front of vehicles. A CHP officer in particular jumped up on the hood of a vehicle. I don't know if anybody remembered that. This happened back in the 90s. It was caught on video. A CHP officer went in front of a man's car who wouldn't stop, jumped up on the hood and shot him through the window. Now, I know this is particularly different, but we started getting training back in the day on not stepping in front of vehicles, not putting yourself in that position. And I guarantee you, if this was LAPD, the very first question they would have asked me, why did you put yourself in that position? How did you get in front of that car?
Okay. Okay.
And I'm not saying everything she did wasn't true. Yes, I believe she is a trained agitator. I believe she was there for nefarious reasons. But the way I looked at the vehicle when she turned her wheel, it appeared to me that she was turning to escape.
As a law enforcement officer, are you supposed to let people flee? Is that are you allowed, are you supposed to do that? I don't know.
Well, our training is you don't want to get run over. Don't put yourself in that position. And if the person escapes, you can always go in pursuit of them afterwards. Because also, if you look at it this way, they also look at it, if you shoot this person, they're behind the wheel of a 4,500-pound car, and you incapacitate them. Now you've got a 4,500-pound bullet just racing down the street to hit anyone.
Have you ever encountered anything like this?
Many times.
You have? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
I have never put myself in front of a vehicle when it was a similar situation. As soon as I saw this, I knew this was going to turn into a mess. I knew this was going to happen. And I just know for a fact that federal law enforcement, they don't get the same type of tactical training that and line officers that work the street every day get. I know that for a fact.
Let me ask you this. Can Minnesota arrest their way out of this problem? Or is there going to need to be are we going to have to call in this, proverbial big guns to fix this?
Yeah, they're not going to be able to arrest their way. Minnesota's so corrupt, their law enforcement's like feckless now. So you're going to need to bring in the military for sure.
Okay. Were you in California during the Rodney King rooftop Koreans? Were you there during all that?
Yes, I worked during the riots. Yes, I did.
Is this similar? Is this worse? Is this not as bad? What's your take on that?
This is way worse. This is like government just completely have become feckless, local government becoming feckless, and now fighting against the federal government. And this is way worse. I've never seen this type of animosity towards government entities going at each other like this. This to me is the perfect storm for having an insurrection enacted.
Let me ask you this, and the reason I asked you that first is because I think right now with the development of social media, I think if social media was around at the level it is now during the Rodney King riots, I think it would be similar. What's your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. Social media changed everything. I agree with that 100%.
Randy, I appreciate you calling, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I didn't want to ruffle any feathers, but I just wanted to give some facts on how we deal with this kind of stuff. And as soon as I saw this, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a mess.
Yeah, I'm sure you're probably not alone. I'm sure there's other law enforcement with the same training as experience as you have that you're all talking amongst each other about this same stuff.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that he wasn't justified in shooting her, but the problem is they're going to ask, like, you put yourself in that spot to have to shoot her.
Let me ask you this one last question, and I'll let you answer.
Okay.
I believe the Democrats have been looking for the next Rodney King, for the next Mike Brown, for the next George Floyd. And I believe that the Democrats would have loved for this woman to be a woman of color or a illegal migrant with 8 or 9 kids and not a white lesbian. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, 100%. I think that's what made him more angry, is the fact that, you know, she was a middle-aged liberal white woman.
Where in California are you at, Randy? You don't have to give like details if you don't want to, but it sounds like you've been around the block.
Oh, Los Angeles Police Department.
LA. A really good friend of mine, he was a helicopter pilot for the Los Angeles County SWAT team. For a long time. And his stories were amazing working SWAT.
Yes. He probably worked for SEB, for LA County Sheriffs. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, LA County Sheriffs. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Well, these two agencies are the largest in the nation, and most other agencies, smaller agencies, even out of state, they pattern their training after us, or at least try to, but they don't have the kind of budget we have. They don't get the kind of training we get. So
right.
That's what I've seen over the past 30 years.
Randy, I appreciate you calling. Thank you for your experience. Thank you for your time. Stay safe and get that retirement behind you.
All right. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Great
Bye-bye.
call. Great call. Los Angeles law enforcement officer was there during the rooftop Koreans. Wow. Oh, boy. Here we go. Lines are open. 615-475-7864. Let's grab some calls. Man, somebody's going to have to really, here we go. Retired Donna, retired. Bruno, what you got, Bruno?
Good morning, brother. You know, I read an article yesterday that apparently this was like the 4th time that she had gotten in front of them.
Really?
This was going on for like 40, 45 minutes, that they kept following them. They are stalking ICE agents, and it's another thing that's a part of this ICE watch garbage.
Wow.
So we don't have everything that happened the 40 minutes prior to that. That's why they told her to get out of the car.
Okay.
There's more behind it all.
I wasn't aware of that. I wasn't aware of that.
I just came across reading it yesterday. I'm like, what in the hell? But again, that's a part of that ICE watch training. Stalk them.
Yeah, that's pitiful, isn't it? Man, Bruno, I appreciate you calling, brother. Thank you so much.
God bless you, bro.
Bruno, exactly, caller. I did not know that. Now, I didn't know. Somebody just sent me a link to this whole ICE watch thing. I wasn't aware of this. The chat's always smarter than I am. Let's go here.
Fox has learned the woman killed in an ICE-involved shooting in Minneapolis was an activist who was part of the ICE watch effort across the city. Here's Vice President Vance. Listen.
You see, just with this most recent terrible incident in Minneapolis, you see friends of this woman's or other people who are eyewitnesses saying basically that she was there to engage in obstruction of a legitimate law enforcement operation. How did she get there? How did she learn about this? There's an entire network, and frankly, some of the media are participating in it, that is trying to incite violence against our law enforcement officers.
Left-wing groups here mobilizing across the city. Let's bring in Cal Scheidler, Director for Homeland Security and Counterterrorism at the Center for Security Policy. Cal, who is this group, ICE Watch, and how are they funded?
Well, I think the vice president is absolutely correct to describe this as a left-wing ecosystem. The reality is that there are these ICE Watch groups in almost every major blue city in the country where we are seeing these standoffs between ICE and these community organization protesters. And it's actually not that difficult for these groups to be stood up. You can find instructions on how to start one of these groups on the web, everything down to how to use the tactics to block in.
I was just going to start a Somalian daycare. That's all I wanted to do.
ICE patrols with your vehicles, how to identify ICE vehicles, how to track and monitor them, how to use signal encryption and similar apps to share information with other participants. So the standing up of these groups is actually not that challenging. And what is challenging is the training and the organizing that goes on behind it. The large national groups that know how to put on a major protest, that know how to lead people down this path of radicalization. When the vice president described this woman in Minneapolis as a victim of that ecosystem, I think he's right also. There are people who are being...
Let's go here. Lines are open. 615-475-7864. Where are you calling from? Line 2.
I'm calling from Michigan.
Michigan. Talk to me, line 2 in Michigan.
It's the guitar player.
What you got, brother?
I was wanting to know, when are the Patriots going to stand up against these protesters? Protest the protesters. When is that going to happen? When is everybody going to stand up? They've been getting ripped off by, they've been getting ripped off for so long. When are we going to stand up against this tyranny shit? When?
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to know.
You know, guitar player, that's a good question, because there's some real groups out there that say that they are that group. Oath Keepers, Proud Boys. There's a handful of groups that champion themselves as that, but I've never seen them in the news doing anything similar to this. Have you?
No. It's all about these dummies out there don't have a job, just creating havoc, which unnecessarily has to happen.
Let me ask you this.
It's making me sick to my stomach.
Let me ask you this, and I want to ask the chat this as well. These groups that say that they are these people, the Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers, all that, are they all talk?
Well, I don't see no action and I don't see no talk. So I don't know what, I don't see none of that really. Or hear any of that, really, nothing.
The only people...
Just like we're all stuck in this thing here. I'll let them do what they got to do, whatever. But no, we got to be there to help. It's like if you see a cop in stress, see him in trouble, you go and help if he's by himself, right? Same difference.
Let me ask you this question. And I think this question answers itself. And I'm asking the chat this as well. Who is more aggressive? Who is more to take it to the streets? It seems like the Democrats and the liberals are more actual engaged. They're more active. And at some point, I think you're right, guitar player. At some point, the people on this side have to take it to the streets. You might be right.
Have to, what I'm saying, they have to know that us, we the people, the patriots, that are law-abiding citizens, ain't taking this crap anymore from these stupid people out there that are doing this stuff to us. It's doing it to me. I mean, whether they believe it or not, it's happening. It's only hurting us too, more or less than ever.
We're sitting idly by and watching the Royal Rumble. At some point,
exactly. Oh, let the chips fall where they may.
Let me ask you this. You've probably been in some bars. I'm going to take a guess and say you've been in some bars, right?
You're right.
I'm going to take a guess and say you've been in some bars when there was a bar fight. Am I right?
Oh, me included.
And I'm just going to say this, and I will reveal this about myself. I have also been in some bar fights. And if you think you are getting out of a bar fight without either punching somebody in the face or getting punched in the face, you are kidding yourself. Or am I right?
That's totally right.
And right now, either you're going to get punched in the face first or you're going to punch somebody else in the face first. That's guitar player. I got to give you call of the day, man.
I'm just sick and tired of these poor guys out there, all these stupid people. All these stupid people. What the fuck?
I agree. I appreciate you calling, man. Appreciate you. We've already riled somebody up. We've already riled somebody up right here. I appreciate you, guitar player. God bless you. Jay Rinka, now you're both inciting civil war. Jay Rinka, I got to give you, first I'm going to give guitar player call of the day.
Amen. Hallelujah. And boom shakalaka.
Boom shakalaka for call of the day on guitar player. Jay Rinka, I'm going to go here. You're a clown. Now you're both inciting civil war. I'm not inciting civil war. What I'm saying is, if you've ever been in a bar fight, I've been in a few, you're either going to get punched in the face first or you're going to do that. I think we're at a point right now. Let me see what other comments Jay Rinka. They usually always. Now you're both inciting civil war. Okay. I see like multiple comments from this. Okay. Jay Rinka, I think you just earned yourself little toilet time. Little toilet time for Jay Rinka. I'm not going to ban you, but the hell you're not. You're inciting civil war. Am I inciting civil war? Comments in the chat. The rioters aren't, but your words are. Oh, I'm inciting civil war. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Man, we got a ball. We got a ball this morning. Civil war. You're inciting civil war. Jay Rinka, I think you're retarded. I'm just going to, hold on. Let me go here.
How dare you?
How dare you not understand the context of anything? Rinka sounds like soup. No, Ben, I don't think I'm inciting civil war either. But you know what? Jay Rinka is entitled to their opinion. Jay Rinka, do me a favor. Call in and tell me if I am inciting civil war. Line 1, go.
Hey, Ben, it's Brad from Pennsylvania.
Brad in Pennsylvania.
About the Proud Boys, you're talking about the Oath Keepers and all that stuff. They were dismantled pretty much during the Obama and Biden years. I don't know if you remember when they were standing up against the BLM out in Nevada, I believe it was.
Okay.
And they took up refuge in that house there, and it was a regular shit show. And the Proud Boys, remember, they were down in Washington, and they were standing up against Antifa, and they were pretty much dismantled. Not to mention, when the people did stand up, the proud Americans that are patriots here in this country, on January 6th, down at the Capitol, peacefully protesting the elections, what happened to those people? They were thrown in jail. You know what I mean? You gotta look at this thing from a top-down type of deal, because that's how the enemy looks at it. They're going to systematically destroy any opposition that they can. And they're not, let's not play it stupid here. These people are not stupid. They know what they're doing. They've planned this for a long time, and they are implementing a plan that they put in place. Do you remember the 3 Ps?
Mm-hmm.
Piss poor planning leads to piss poor performance. Well, they've got all the money backing them. by Soros and some American money. We're finding out all this Somali money in Minnesota is getting kicked back to.
I'm going to cut you off right here.
What's what?
I'm going to cut you off right here. I'm going to grab some more calls, but I think you're right. Thank you very much for calling. Thank you very much for calling. Brad in Pennsylvania. The guy is right. Proud Boys got jailed and dismantled. Okay. I wasn't sure of that. I'm sure there's still some people out there. But let me ask you this. If just saying that the other side, at what point does our side stop being the victim? I don't understand how that counter protesting, let's call it that, counter protesting, is inciting a civil war. Wow. Wow. People, wow. I don't get it. Okay. Maybe I'm wrong here.
Led into very dangerous situations, confronting federal law enforcement, not realizing the threat that poses. And there are organizations, revolutionary organizations, that seek to take advantage when those people are harmed or killed. And that's what we're seeing today with groups mobilizing across the country, like Party for Socialism and Liberation, organizing protests across multiple cities to target this event.
And Cal, so we're learning, Fox has learned from DHS sources that Renee Good was an immigration activist. She was part of this ICE watch. She was trained to track, monitor, and interfere in ICE operations. We're also learning that she visited at least 2 other ICE locations with her car, blocking ICE prior to her shooting. So she clearly was trying to do more than be a legal observer. She was inserting herself into ICE operations. My question is, who is paying for this?
Well, that term legal observer is interesting because you see it being thrown around a lot. I think most Americans don't realize that that is very coded language. These legal observers are trained protest organizers. Most often when you see that term legal observer, it's referring to groups from the National Lawyers Guild. That's a longtime Communist Party organization that organizes the legal support for vast variety of protests. Everything from protests to Antifa to legitimate terrorist groups all get National Lawyers Guild support. So I don't think the American people should be fooled when they hear that term, a legal observer. All it's really telling you is that this woman was a professional protester.
Professional protester. Wow. Got a little poll going on in the chat right now. Should conservatives counter protest? Yes, it is our right to, or no, it's inciting civil war. B Reigns for Prez. Got my Proud Boy patch still. Why is it only okay for one side to protest? Why is that the case? Why is that? Wait, what? So we're just supposed to be the victims here? Come on, man. Can't do that. At some point, you got to punch the bully in the face, right? How do you deal with bullies? How do you deal with bullies? I don't know if I can agree with not counter protesting. It might be the only way. Let me ask you this. Our forefathers, Tea Party, the Boston Tea Party, if you remember that one. Was that a counter protest? Was that a protest for our freedom? Was that a protest against tyranny? Was that a protest against, I don't know, taxation without representation? Why can't we counter protest? Line 2, go. Turn the audio down in the background.
How do you deal with bullies?
Never mind. If you call in, I'm tired of saying that phrase. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Line 1. What you got, line 1?
Yes.
Nope. Turn the audio down in the background or you are hung up on like you're the IRS. Line 1, go. Line 1, go.
Hey, got 2 questions. This is Kendall from Kansas. I talked to you before.
Okay, what you got?
that woman looked right at that officer standing in front of that vehicle, and she floored it.
Okay.
And the other one said, "Drive, baby, drive."
Okay.
And allegedly, I do believe that Democrats are mafia. That's my opinion.
RICO charges. Okay. Okay.
And I just want, and I hope you're doing good. I still like your show, and I'm
I
trying to
appreciate
get
you
to be a
calling.
member, but my phone ain't allowing me to. So
I appreciate you calling. You take care, sir. Have a great day up there in Kansas. Up in Kansas. I mean, should we counter protest? Line 2, go. I say a peaceful counter protest. Go ahead, line 2.
Hello, Ben.
Yes, sir.
Hi, this is Scott Quisenberry calling from Springfield, Missouri.
Springfield, talk to me. Greene County, Missouri. What you got?
Well, I had commented earlier, and then you kind of touched on it, is that we need to take a page from our founding fathers, and they used to storm the town halls with the and grab the corrupt politicians and tar and feather them, run them out of town.
Do you think the conservatives have become too complacent, too lazy, too nice, too kind? Are we looking down our noses and saying, let's just let this play out? I mean, at what point do patriots push back?
Well, I mean, it's we're at the point, my family, we've got a newborn baby, and I'm scared to death.
You shouldn't be. Not in your own country, should you?
Exactly. But I know if I stand up and do something, I'm going to go to jail. I'm going to be the one prosecuted. They can do whatever they want to, and if I defend against it, I'm going to go to jail for it.
You know what I think the other big thing is? Conservatives don't have someone funding these people. We don't have someone throwing money at us to go protest. We don't have people funding us to quit our jobs and paying us to protest. We don't have that. We don't have a George Soros. We don't have a Code Pink. We don't have an organization that is funding us to quit our jobs to go and do that. That's what I kind of think.
Exactly. We need a central command.
You put your family over the movement. They put the movement over everything. That's what I think. That's what I think.
The desire's there. It's just the consequences are so severe that we wind up being a lone protester.
Yeah. I appreciate you. Thank you for calling, sir. Great call.
Thank you, Ben.
Great call. Great call. Let's see here. We're not mentally ill. Elf. Well, speak for yourself. Speak for yourself. I very well could be mentally ill for thinking like this. Lines are open. 615. Oh, that didn't take long. Talk to me. Line 2. What you got, line 2?
Hey, Ben, this is Jim calling from southern Minnesota.
You're in Minnesota. You're in the belly of the beast. You are Noah in the whale. Talk to me.
And the one thing that I've seen is when we have these conservative counter protesters, they're the ones that seem to be getting attacked and then arrested instead of the actually violent protesters.
That could very well be true. You are probably right. I think you're right. Let me ask you this. At what point is enough enough?
I think we've passed that point already. I think it's way past enough. There needs to be more done. But like you said, we don't have big funders funding the conservative side of it. So that's what our hang up is. We don't have the lawyers. We don't have any of that waiting to help us.
Yeah, we don't. We really don't. We really don't have that. I hate to say it, but you can probably agree with me, and maybe some in the chat will or not. Democrats are better at being organized. While all this is going on, we have conservatives on YouTube and all these other social media platforms tearing each other apart. We tear each other apart. They tear us apart. I mean, that's the way I look at it. Thank you for calling, sir. Great call. Had a little static building up in there. Shut down Ice Watch. That might be easier said than done. Might be easier said than done. Very well could be. Point of no return. Are we past that? Are we past? Point of no return is past us now. Point of no return. You could be right. Lines are open 615-475-7864. That didn't take long. Line 2, go right ahead, line 2.
Hello?
Yeah, go for it.
Hi, yeah, I have a question. I live in Idaho, and how do I get more ice in our area?
How many times?
I'm an Uber driver, so I pick up a lot of illegals,
Okay.
and I take them places. How do I go about getting that taken care of?
Let me ask you this. You have a lot of illegals there. You obviously have a cell phone, right? You're talking to me on it, I'm guessing.
Yep.
How many times have you called ICE and reported the illegal aliens?
0.
Why not? Then that's your problem. There's your answer.
Okay. So how do I like tell them like where I drop them off? I mean,
I would absolutely tell them where I dropped them off. I would absolutely tell them. I'm going to tell you right now, I might have a really good neighbor, but if they're here or illegally, I'm reporting their ass. I'm going to report them. I don't care. That's just me.
Okay. And then the other question is how come you don't see more people out there protesting against, not against, but pro-ICE? You don't really see that. You see all of the liberals and the Democrats. Oh, I hate ICE. Get rid of them. They're not allowed. But you don't see more individuals standing up.
You want me to tell you the honest to God's truth of that answer, or do you want me to tell you what you want to hear?
No, I want the truth. That's why I'm calling in.
I'm going to tell you the honest to God's truth of why you don't see it. Because conservatives, Republicans, MAGA, whatever, we've gotten complacent. We've gotten complacent. We have gotten lazy. We have gotten comfortable. Meanwhile, the left wakes up every day angry, hungry, pissed off, and like they're just hungry. They're more hungry. And I got the number up on the screen right now for ICE. Thank you for calling. I appreciate you. If you called and said, how do I report illegals, or how do I get more involved? How do I get more ICE? And you've never called ICE, that's your step 1. Step 1, report them. Step 2, report them again. Report them again, report them again, report them again, report them again. Report them. 1-866-DHS-2-ICE. You got the answer right here. You got it right here. You got the answer right there. So, and that's my screensaver. It's a little moon, full moon. I like to give people the full moon. There's your answer. Don't be complacent. Report these sons of bitches. Lines are open. Step 1, if you see them, report them. Dawn, New York. Talk to me, Dawn.
Hey, Ben, it's been a long time. Happy New Year. So I just have a statement that, I trust President Trump going into 26 to pull the Insurrection Act. There'll be boots on the ground. This has got to calm down. These people don't have the right to continue to do what they're doing. It's funded anti-agitators. And I got to tell you, I trust the president that he's on this, and it's a timing thing, and it's going to get handled. President Trump is aware of everything that's going on. I stand with him. But I'll tell you, in 1 minute, we will back up President Trump. We will back up President Trump. There's 77 million of us. So I feel very confident this will be handled.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you for calling, Dawn. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Ben. Bye-bye.
Dawn in New York. Dawn sent me. I got to show you what Dawn sent me. You want to see something that Dawn sent me? Jay Rinka, text me. I'll call you. I want to show you what Dawn sent me. This is an original Ditto Head shirt. Original Ditto Head shirt from Dawn. Never been worn. Dawn sent an original Ditto Head t-shirt. You want to see something cool? That is cool. That's sacred. Right there. It's time. Who sang the song Taking It to the Streets? Taking it to the streets. Who sang that song? I think we might have to take it to the streets. I saw a comment there by Gooch. Let me see what Gooch said here. Gooch. What did Gooch say? VB, what are we supposed to do if there have never been any illegals in our town? You lucky SOB. You lucky. You're just trying to rub my nose in it now, Gooch. Gooch, no illegals where I live. Gooch lives in paradise. A little bit of utopia is where he lives. Gooch is in utopia. Gotcha. The Gooch is just bragging now. He's showing off. Showing off. I keep my 30-30 right over there. Let's go here. Line 1. What you got, line 1? Talk to me.
Hey, this is Robert, North Carolina.
Robert, North Carolina. Talk to me, Robert.
Yeah, Ben, I tell you what, I think we've waited too long and did too little. As far as ICE, I mean, they petted them with kid gloves for too long. They should have had the dogs out there. They should have had, more response as far as arrest and holding them. I mean, they've been treated like kids for so long. They think they can get away with everything.
I'm putting
now,
a poll in the chat.
If we send troops in, we need to do it like they did back in the 60s and send them in with bayonets fixed. I mean, this time of playing coddling is over. I mean, it all started when you had communists and socialists in our public offices.
I put a poll in the chat right now. I believe that Obama planned all this.
Oh, I don't doubt it, brother.
I believe he planned every damn bit of this. He has been the evil genius behind all of this.
I mean, as hard as everybody worked to get racial equality, and he come in and started the racial divide all over again.
He really did. He really did. He really did. Man, I'm going to tell you this. You sound like a God-fearing Christian, right?
Yes, sir.
At some point, I mean, even biblically, God used Samson to slay the Philistines. Am I wrong?
You're not.
At some point, push comes to shove. And I think I'm getting to the point where I'm not going to get pushed around anymore. I'm not going to get pushed around anymore. And we know it's being funded from other governments. They would love nothing more than this to continue to happen. Right?
And you've got people so blind they can't see it.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm sure she's going to be in Minneapolis tonight in a Code Pink t-shirt protesting. That's what I think. That's what I think. Appreciate you calling, brother. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Ben.
God bless you. Oh, here we go. Worth speed. If I were the devil, Paul Harvey. You know what? Let's take a little trip down memory lane with a little Paul Harvey. I think you are probably right. Paul. My grandmother used to listen to Paul Harvey all the time. She listened to Paul Harvey. She had a radio that sat in the kitchen window, and we also had a scupper. We had a scupper there that everybody drank out of. Everybody drank of. If I were the devil. We had a scupper that everyone drank out of. I think that was part of the reason we didn't all catch something, because we all drank out of the same damn thing. Here we go. Let's go here. My grandmother loved Paul Harvey. I think Paul Harvey was the groundwork for Rush Limbaugh. This voice brings back so many memories, sitting and watching my grandmother quilt.
If I were the devil, if I were the devil, if I were the prince of darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness, and I'd have a third of its real estate and 4/5 of its population, but I wouldn't be happy until I had seized the ripest apple on the tree, thee. So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. And the old I would teach to pray after me, Our Father, which art in Washington. And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd threaten TV with dirtier movies and vice versa. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves, until each in its turn was consumed. And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions. Just let those run wild. Until before you knew it, you'd have to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door. Within a decade, I'd have prisons overflowing. I'd have judges promoting pornography. Soon I could evict God from the courthouse, then from the schoolhouse, and then from the houses of Congress. And in his own churches, I would substitute psychology for religion and deify science. I would lure priests and pastors into misusing boys and girls and church money. If I were the devil, I'd make the symbol of Easter an egg and the symbol of Christmas a bottle. If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who wanted until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious. And what'll you bet? I couldn't get whole states to promote gambling as the way to get rich. I would caution against extremes in hard work, in patriotism, in moral conduct. I would convince the young that marriage is old-fashioned, that swinging is more fun, that what you see on TV is the way to be. And thus I could undress you in public, and I could lure you into bed with diseases for which there is no cure. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing.
Was Paul Harvey right? Was Paul Harvey right? I think we needed to listen to that. Was Paul Harvey right? Somebody just sent me something that I need to show you. Or, yeah, I'm going to show you. And then I'm going to call Jay Rinka. Jay Rinka said that I was inciting civil war and wants me to call him. And I am going to do that. Before I do that, I am going to bring up an X post. And this is an X post from a Venezuelan security guard loyal to Nicolas Maduro. And it's absolutely chilling. The person that sent me this, for him to say that is very, very, it carries a lot of weight. It says, on the day of the operation, we didn't hear anything coming. We were on guard. But suddenly all our radar systems shut down without any explanation. The next thing we saw were drones, a lot of drones, flying over our positions. We didn't know how to react. The interviewer, so what happened next? Security guard says, after those drones appeared, some helicopters arrived, but there were very few. I think barely 8 helicopters. From those helicopters, soldiers came down, but a small number, maybe 20 even. But those men were technologically very advanced. They didn't look like anything we've ever fought against before. I'm getting chills reading this. The interviewer, And then the battle began. Security guard. Yes, but it was a massacre. We were hundreds, but we had no chance. They were shooting with such precision and speed. It seemed like each soldier was firing 300 rounds per minute. We couldn't do anything. The interviewer. And your own weapons, didn't they help? No, no help at all. Because it wasn't just the weapons. At one point, they launched something. I don't know how to describe it. It was like a very intense sound wave. Suddenly, I felt my head was exploding from the inside. We all started bleeding from the nose. Some were vomiting blood. We fell to the ground, unable to move. Interviewer, and your comrades, did they manage to resist? No, not at all. Those 20 men, without a single casualty, killed hundreds of us. We had no way to compete with their technology, with their weapons. I swear I've never seen anything like it. We couldn't even stand up after that sonic weapon or whatever it was. Interviewer. So do you think the rest of the region should think twice before confronting Americans? Without a doubt, I'm sending a warning to anyone who thinks they can fight the United States. They have no idea what they're capable of. After what I saw, I never want to be on the other side of that again. They're not to be messed with. Interviewer. And now that Trump has said Mexico is on the list, do you think the situation will change in Latin America? Definitely. Everyone is already talking about this. No one wants to go through what we went through. Now everyone thinks twice. What happened here is going to change a lot of things, not just in Venezuela, but throughout the region. Hold on. That deserves this.
Amen. Hallelujah. And boom shakalaka.
Let me read you the text message that my friend sent me. The last thing he said was, if you're not proud to be an American after that, I don't want you in my country. We don't get this without Trump. He's the greatest president in our nation's history. Hands down, not even close. I am going to say, hallelujah. I am going to say hallelujah. Wow. That's powerful. I'll try it. Let's see what Jay Rinka wants to say. This is the person that said I was going to incite civil war.
Good morning.
Jay Rinka.
Yes.
Jay Rinka, how am I inciting civil war?
I think we need to have our patriots stand down and let our president handle the discourse.
Let me ask you one question. Have you ever been in a fight?
Yes, I have.
A fight for your life?
Yes, I have.
A fight for your nation?
No.
A fight for your sovereignty?
Yes.
A fight for your family?
Yes.
A fight for your children?
Absolutely. Every day is a fight for my children and grandchildren.
So why would you ever say stand down?
Well, look how successful January 6th was.
Are you under the veil or the shrouded? You think January 6th was wrong?
I think that the administration, not our current administration, but the previous administration, was hoping for that. They got exactly what they wanted, and we heard about it. We still hear about it. We will never get out from under that.
How long should we stand down for? How long should we stand down for?
I think we should stand down. This is exactly what the Democrats are hoping for. This is exactly what the libs want from us, is to have this big civil war, civil unrest. It's exactly what they want. It's exactly what they're planning for.
Well, let me ask you this.
California.
Hold on.
It's
Hold on. What the Democrats want is exactly what they're getting right now. They're getting no pushback. Even the police are running from them. Even the police are scared of them. I am not scared of them. It sounds like you are scared of them.
No, I'm not scared of them. I just want to be smarter than them.
Let me ask you
I don't
this.
want to take the bait.
Let me ask you this.
We'll lose our Second Amendment forever.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. You live in California. Do you even have any firearms in your house?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
In every room.
Let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this. Taking the bait, at what point do or should patriots, Americans push back? Because right now, if we don't push back, where does it go?
Well, I don't. I'm the kind of patriot that sends letters and emails all the time to my representatives. I did 5 the other day.
Do you think a strongly worded letter works?
Well, it would certainly work if we filled the mailroom.
The Democrats weaponized the mailroom. It was called mail-in ballots. Jay Rinka, I love your perspective. I am not going to disparage your perspective.
Conservative.
Okay.
I want to handle it conservatively. I don't want my son and my nephews and my grandson out there with they would be more than happy. Keep it up and you'll see them out there.
Okay. All right. And let me ask you this. Hold on. Should our forefathers have written strongly worded letters to King George?
The Tea Party?
No, wait. We sent a strongly worded letter to King George. It was called the Declaration of Independence. And after that,
King George wasn't on our side. We have President Trump on our side. We have the military and Pete Hegseth on our side. We have J.D. Vance and Kristi Noem on our side.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Let them handle it.
Let me ask you this. You have firearms in your house. Is that correct? You said that?
Yes.
Why do you have that? Why do you have that?
To protect myself.
Why? You should just wait on the police and send them a strongly worded letter.
You come in my home and you are getting one right between the eyes.
America's my home.
Well,
America's my house. America's my house.
I listen to you every day, multiple times a day, if you are on multiple times a day. I'm just a conservative, and I want to protect our Second Amendment and our party. If we go to civil war, Trump, he's already never going to live it down, but it will be the end of us.
Thank you for calling. I appreciate you. God bless you. America's my house. They came into my house. I don't agree with her perspective. It's okay, though. I am allowed to disagree. She is allowed to disagree. Line 2, go right ahead, line 2.
Yes, hi, I'm calling from...
Your audio is shit. It sounds like your head is in a bucket.
Okay, can you hear me better?
That's better.
Yes, I'm calling from Arizona.
Yep, let's go.
Okay, great. I have to disagree with your comment about police officers and people being afraid. What I think, in my opinion, is that the people who are out there doing this violence and promoting violence need to be arrested. Yes, granted, they may be getting out because you have judges that will let them out. You have a jail that will let them out. But if you arrest enough of those people and you recycle them through that system, it will expose something different that we're not seeing, and that's the arrest of these people. Now, when I confronted, and I have been in confrontation with police officers, I've been asked to put my hands up, hands behind, all those different things. I complied and was arrested. There was a time when I didn't comply, and I was still arrested. So if I raise a hand, if I make a verbal threat, even a verbal threat towards a police officer, in the state of Arizona, I was arrested immediately. No discussion, anything. So when I see all these things on the media and the people in the, whether it's ICE, whether it's police officers, or whether whoever it was, in their face, spitting on them, throwing snowballs, all that violent gestures, those people need to be arrested. And
need to
I do
and
not
have
promote violence. I do not promote death, but I don't agree with us as patriots going against them in any way. I
Going
agree with
against-
one caller. We have enforcement. We have the government, Republican government, to help enforce laws. And if they're going to enforce laws and stand for laws like we do, when the person violates laws, they need to be arrested. And
Okay.
I would like to see
Thank
more
you.
arrests. That's all I
Okay.
gotta say.
So you just want to sit back and wait for the government to take care of you.
No, the government doesn't take care of me, never has, never will. Don't trust it. Only started voting for presidents since Trump came into office. The only president in the past that I really cared about was.
Hold on. We're getting, you're going down a rabbit hole. You're going down a rabbit hole of shit that I could care less about. Here's my question. You're saying don't counter protest. Don't do anything.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. That's your opinion. I think at some point we have to counter protest. At some point we have to counter protest. If you think, Jesse.
Amen. Hallelujah. And boom shagalaka.
Jesse nailed it. Lick another stamp. The last letter that had any actual power was the Declaration of Independence. That's the last letter that had any power. Lick another stamp. Yes. I am tired of this complacent shit. At some point, you have to push back. A lot of soy flowing. Yeah. Line 2. Go right ahead, line 2.
Hello, can you hear me?
Bad audio. Speak up.
Hi, can you hear me better now?
That's better. What you got?
Okay, sorry about that. So what I got is I live in Wisconsin. I'm about 50 minutes from Ground Zero in Minneapolis where this happened.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I'm that far away, and there's still even protesters at my small town intersection. So, you know, that caller was saying, you know, don't confront protesters. Well, I did in my small town. I'm doing something at least,
Mm-hmm.
you know, even if it's just a few people. I mean, it's still worth it. Why let them win the visual narrative?
I don't understand why some people think that waiting for the government to save you is going to help. I just don't get it. I don't understand how you would ever think that. We've been waiting on Mike Johnson and John Thune. That audio is horrible. That audio is horrible. We've been waiting on Mike Johnson and John Thune to try to save us for a while. Where's that going? No speakerphones. Yeah, don't put it on speakerphone. Don't be that person. Lines are open. 615-475-7864. At some point, you got to do something, man. I keep fire extinguishers in the garage and one under the sink. It's just to fight the fire until the help shows up, but I'm still going to fight the fire. Line 2, go right ahead.
Sorry about that. Our call dropped.
Yeah. The call dropped because your audio was horrible. I hung up. It's okay. If you call line 2, go. Nope. Speakerphone, all that crap in the background, not happening. Feel free. How would ICE know the difference between them and us? Whoa, good point. Write-in campaigns do work. She's doing good. I'm not saying she's doing bad. I'm saying there needs to be something else. Line 2, go.
Hello.
Yeah, go right ahead.
I wanted to say that a lot of people are missing the big picture here. This is not only developing from the United States, it's the other countries involved in this to destabilize us. And they're missing all of that.
There are other people, other countries involved. Elon Musk figured that out because on X, He put a little tab on X to shows you the country of origin. Shows you the country of origin. It absolutely is a fact. Thank you for calling. Great point. There are people outside of this country funding this. Funding this. Line 2, go right ahead.
Hey, Ben.
Turn down whatever you got in the background. I'll hang up on you faster than the IRS. What you got?
I got text. You want to hear about that?
Do I want what?
Hill.
I don't know what the hell's going on there. Sound like Green Acres. He's up on the roof crawling from the rooftop. I don't know. Let's see. Is this being funded by our enemies? Yes or no? And feel free to put in the chat who you think is funding it. Not just Soros. I think we're seeing Saudi Arabia. I think we're seeing Qatar. Ben, you don't understand her. Maybe I don't understand anything. I'm that person. I'm from the government. I'm here to help. Yeah, right. Let's go right here. Line 2. What you got?
Hey, Ben. Good morning. Shannon from Tallahassee.
Tallahassee, talk to me.
I think they are drawing us into a civil war if we're not already there. I think we're already there.
Well, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this. Why is it only okay for one side to protest?
Good question. I just think the conservatives, Republicans need to get off there and protest. Maybe they don't have the fortitude to do it. I don't know. Do they think that they don't need to? We just sit back or become
Here's
part
what
of
I
the
think.
problem? I don't know.
Here's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think this person's got it right. China's funding this. I think part of the reason that conservatives are complacent is we're waiting for Trump to take care of us. We're waiting for Trump to save us. And Trump probably needs a little help. I appreciate you calling. God bless you down in Tallahassee. I think we're waiting. We think Trump and the government is going to save us. At some point, you might have to tread a little water until they show up. Right? We're already in a war. We're just not fighting back. I agree with that. Line 2, go.
Hey, Ben.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I was an Oath Keeper, and January 6th wiped out the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. I wasn't sure of that.
Full bore on them.
Oh, wow. Okay. And wasn't the main guy like an FBI informant?
Oh yeah, some of them were. And
Enrico.
Ontario.
Enrique, that's it.
Up in 20 years.
Yeah.
Years in jail, and he wasn't even there.
Wow. I thought he was the FBI informant. I thought he was one of the ones that were one of the informants or started singing to get out.
He may or may not have had a knowing relationship as one.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, you're dealing with people who are former, Leos and military.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they all talk the same talk.
Yeah. Somebody said Oath Keepers are feds. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know enough about it.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Let me ask you this. And I asked the other caller, why is it only okay for the left to protest? And if conservatives, if the right protest, we're inciting a civil war. But if the left protest, it's free speech. Why is it? Why is that?
Well, I don't think the right protests because that's just not their thing. What they do is they simmer and then explode.
Do you think we should get out and protest and let off a little steam before we get to that explosive area?
Yeah, that would be a non-violent way to do things, and maybe that would. And
it worked in Portland. It worked in Portland. In Portland, there were a bunch of conservatives that went and counter-protested outside of that ICE detention center, and then magically all the blue-haired freaks with nose rings disappeared. It worked. It absolutely worked.
I agree with you.
Appreciate you calling.
God bless you, Ben.
God bless you. It worked. If the right does it, civil war. If the left does it, free speech. That's a double standard of lies. That is a mountain of shit. Line 2, go.
Hi, Ben. This is Jim from Buffalo, New York.
Jim, Buffalo.
You know something? I believe it's time to break some heads and straighten these people out. It's gone far enough. Enough's enough. And I served 21 years in the Air Force, and I've seen a lot of shit.
Thank you for your
I'm
service.
tired of what's going on.
Thank you for your service. Let me ask you this. I believe it was Mike Tyson that said, you know, everybody's brave until they get punched in the face. You know, I think he said something like that. And I believe these left-wing, blue-haired, nose ring freaks, they're protesters until they get punched in the face. I appreciate you calling. Great call, Air Force veteran. Man, we got some rapid fire going on right now. Rapid fire calls. Rapid fire. If the left does it, free speech. Right to protest. Right does it, civil war. That's bullshit. Line 2, go.
Hey, good morning, Dan.
Good morning. Talk to me.
Yes, I just wanted to tell you that I was involved with the Tea Party back during Obama.
Okay.
And we took buses and we went down to Washington, and there's a whole bunch of thousands and thousands of conservatives.
Okay.
We were the most peaceful, the most loving. We helped each other. We cleaned up after ourselves. We are conservatives, and conservatives are going to be conservatives. We're not going to have sit downs. We're not going to burn things on fire.
We're gonna follow the law.
We don't even like to talk loud, you know, because that's not. It's against our nature. You know, we do have to raise our voices. We have to group together, and that's more like grouping together. Even locally, what is your neighbor saying?
Yeah.
You know, who can you count on?
Yeah, I agree. Thank you for calling. God bless you. Great call. Francis said, what was it Francis said? Oh, let me see here. Francis said this. Let me see. Francis P. Johnson. Ben, you quitting your job to protest? Why would I need to quit my job? If there is an organized protest of conservatives, I am absolutely happy to go and join. Uh-oh. Y'all want the text message from my wife? Do you want to read? Should I read the text message from my wife? She is the voice of reason. She is always the voice of reason, and she's a longtime supporter. If you want me to read the text message from the most important person in my life, type 1 for yes, 2 for no. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Do you want me to read what she said? Let me know. Okay, I see a lot of yeses. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm going to do it. You're forgetting the demographics of conservatives. She's always so right. You are forgetting the demographics of conservatives. Most conservatives are at their jobs. She's right. Democrats were ahead in the polls until Republicans got off work. Then on the weekends, they are taking care of their family, their house, going to church. We do not have China over to pay us to take off from our jobs and go stand in the cold and protest. She's 1,000% correct. She is 1,000% correct. She is so right. She is so damn right. She is always right. Great woman you got. Yeah, I don't know what happened to her vision. She lost her vision a long time ago. It affected her decision making, obviously. I think I had to ask her to marry me twice. Maybe 3, maybe like 17 times. I think I had to ask her like 17 times, 11 times. Lines are open. She's so right. She is so damn right. Let's go line 2. What you got, line 2?
This is Staff Sergeant Hamilton. How you doing, Ben?
Good morning, sir.
I'm
Talk
from
to me.
California.
Good morning.
And out here in California, we have the Freedom Riders 1776. You should check them out on Facebook.
Okay.
We are a huge organization, And if we all group together, we could get rid of these lefties. We could defeat them out there and protest and set up a protection perimeter around the ICE agents. So I think if we could just group together, we could get rid of these protests. The other thing is, as you know, I think all these senators, congressmen, they should be subject to the UCMJ, and they should get a court martial. That way they can't have their protected judges and attorneys. So
yeah,
I'll say bye for now, and
appreciate
thanks
you
for listening.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thank you for your service. Great call. Great freaking call. Calistania. That's right. That is absolutely right. Have you seen all the AG Keith Ellison disrespect to the veterans? I didn't see that, and I don't want to. Sadly, that guy's a loser. A loser. Guys, gals, girls, it's the Ben Dyke Show. I am out of here. I have got to go and take care of some stuff. I hope y'all like the longer live stream today. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.